There's a lot of work to be done with clergy, I think. And especially in these days when churches are struggling and the clergy tend to get caught up in keeping their congregation going, keep their church going. Being broad-minded, reaching out to others, sharing our weaknesses, and not trying to hold on to our strengths, not trying to make sure that we defend our wee corner and hold on to it as best we can, but trying to realise that we're all weak now. The Christian church is going through a hard time in this country, and we're all in a very weak position. We need each other, and we need to reach out to each other and realise how much we share.
Hello, my name is John Ithell. I'm the project coordinator of the In With The Mix project. The In With The Mix project is a partnership between Faith and Community Scotland, Place for Hope and the Conforti Institute. We are here at Gartmore House for a residential over the next 24-hour period. We're looking at what we've done with the project in spending the Tackling Sectarianism funding from the Scottish Government. The project is not just one project, it's several and a variety of activities within communities and within churches and faith groups working towards looking at tackling sectarianism within communities. Our belief is in a community asset-based approach where we don't look for problems within communities, we look for the strength within the communities and work with that strength in developing approaches to local issues.
For the In The Mix, I was pleased to host in our church the Scarfed for Life programme, which brought together 25 pupils from a Roman Catholic school and 25 from a non-denominational school. Those pupils were 15, 16 years of age.
The mosque especially has now joined us. So we've now got our church, the St Matthew's Chapel, and the mosque. The three of us are now working together. And one of the good things that came out of it all was the two senior schools we involved, how they have came together and they're working together, and their next project that the kids have decided themselves is a Celebrating Diversity music concert. And they decided themselves they were going to raise the money. The money that was raised would be for the local Syrian refugees. And they are coming to the concert, and so are people from the mosque, so are people from the district, all faiths again, and non-faiths.
We brought together women from the Ladies Orange Association and from the Catholic Church. And one of the things I think breaks down barriers is sharing a meal together. So every time we met, we had a meal. And maybe women are just good at talking. And we talked and we talked and we listened, and we were good at beginning to bust some of the myths that people had, learning about what the Orange Ladies Association, what they felt they wanted to share with us about what they stood for, and also the whole question of the bands, as in the flute bands, and what they were about. And we went to Corrymeela. We also went to Belfast recently, and we had a storytelling weekend where the women again came together. So we just got to know one another, and relationships were built up, which was amazing. The
Scottish Government have been funding lots of work to tackle sectarianism in Scotland, and over the past 4 years, Faith and Community Scotland, the Conforti Institute and Place for Hope we've been aware of each other's work, we've helped each other out at different events and gatherings, and we decided probably over the past couple of years that we would like to work much more closely together. And so the idea was born for In With The Mix, where the three organisations would have a more intentional way of working in communities and with the different groups we've been involved with.
Yeah, and it was also an opportunity for the three organisations to mirror what we were asking organisations, community groups, to come together and do. So we were mirroring what we were asking folk.
My involvement was really at the stage of actually delivery. However, with the In With The Mix project, I had the opportunity then to work with the organisations and supporting some of the direction of where the project was going.
I would hope, firstly, that there's a sense of how the initiatives that have begun can be continued, so that it's not just a thing that has a sudden end, but there is some way in which it feeds on into different areas of work. I don't think it's not necessarily that the spotlight needs to be continuously on sectarianism, but that addressing sectarianism is done through different ways. I think that can be done.
I think I'd like to see a sense of affirmation for the teams that what they've done has been good work. And I think that those who have been participants in the various events, that they'll go away feeling as though their lives have changed somewhat, and that they've benefited from what's going on with the mix.
I've been involved over the past 2 years plus. I was asked to be involved by the parish priest, and my involvement is really to represent the parish within the North Motherwell partnership, and also to look at joint activities along with the members of the North Motherwell Parish Church.
Well, we've been involved in the anti-sectarian project really from the beginning of it. We were invited to become part of it, ourselves and our sister Roman Catholic Church, St Bernadette's in North Motherwell. And so we've journeyed over these last 4 years and have done various things under the programme.
And with the mixed part is the best thing I think that's happened to the project. Because of partnership, people, I believe, are much more impressed if you practice what you preach. So if they see you working in partnership, then you basically are practicing, anti-sectarianism, if you know what I mean, because you're working together from people from different backgrounds, people from different churches, people from different. The people that I've met have been amazing people, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity if it hadn't been the partnership aspect of it. And I think it's the witness of the partnership is the most powerful thing.
I think the fact that people were coming together, we were sharing joint activities, we were seeing that there were issues that were not based on what your religion was, but the fact that there's poverty within the area, the fact that there is a racial tension.
The partnership seems to work very well in the sense that each of the three organisations with the previous grants were all working disparately but kind of together. And now it's worked really well together, that they've kind of had a cross-fertilisation or, working with similar ideas and using the talents of all the various groups.
An example of the religious leaders working together in terms of our community, there have been so many nights. I mean, we've done things like St Andrew's night together in the chapel hall, and that's been a wonderful fun night where people have seen both the priest and the minister, and people just having fun together up on the dance floor, all that kind of thing, just being human, being friends together. We've been away together on for conversations at Struve House, where together the priest and the minister have just been seen doing the dishes together, or just having a laugh, playing the guitar and singing together. In all kinds of ways, it's a wonderful story for people to see.
Yeah, there have been challenges in terms of the programme as well. I guess, first of all, the blessing is that we've really developed a great community of friendship within North Motherwell, and people of the two churches have got to know each other very well. I suppose the challenge would be, well, how do you extend that from a group of maybe 20, 25 people into something which is deeply embedded within the life of both congregations? And I think in truth we haven't managed to do that as well as we hoped we might.
I learned just how important it was to work with local people and to trust that they had within their own communities the resources that they needed to tackle an issue like sectarianism.
One of the things that I've learned is the importance that very often in terms of faith communities that oftentimes our numbers might be small or something like this, but when we as churches work together and share our gifts, sometimes some people have the numbers and the skills and the talents, other folks can have the creative ideas, but when we work together and also working with our community, that being the kind of equation, that God blesses that and wonderful things grow.
When I did some work in West Africa and Cameroon, and I was once given an amazing piece of advice by an elderly gentleman. When I asked him, because a lot of the work I was doing was within the church, and I said to him, what would be your tip to me as I'm learning, coming into this other culture? And this is what he said to me: shut up and listen. And I think that the tip I would give, because too often we go in first of all with this and not with these, and he said, spend some time walking on the sacred ground, which is the other person's life, and listen and learn before you make judgments. And I've learned that just through this particular project.
One of the differences it has made, I don't hear anybody speaking about them and us now. It's us. And we will rise and fall as us. It's what we do. And when I say we, it's the two churches and the mosque. It's now we. And that is the great thing that's come out of it too.
I suppose one thing that I have realised and is that this is deep work. You know, it's not something that's going to be fixed overnight. And I think there's a real understanding of that. I think these people that are here at this residential are the leaders, if you like, of the different traditions that have been kind of invited together to kind of reflect on this. And I think there is an appreciation that this is not something that you can just kind of whitewash and pretend is not there and move on, and that there is quite a lot of deep work to do.